Hi, and welcome to Say Grace, Food for Thought and Hospitality. I'm Steve Palmer, and I invite you to join me as we explore the stories behind leaders in the hospitality industry and beyond. Say Grace is a place to reflect, connect, and savor thoughtful narratives. Everyone has a seat at our table. So pull up a chair and let's discover the transformative power of hospitality together. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Say Grace, where we unpack all things hospitality. Today, I'm very excited about this because she's trending, she's blowing up. I'm happy and honored to welcome Debby Soo to Say Grace. I have a little bio Debby Soo, the CEO of OpenTable, the reservation platform that's home to more than 55,000 restaurants. Prior to OpenTable, she spent 10 plus years building Kayak's travel commercial team, and later oversaw global business development for both Kayak and OpenTable. Debby is a graduate of Stanford University and has an MBA from MIT Sloan School of Management. That's fancy.
Sounds fancy.
I know. Debby, welcome to Say Grace.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So happy to have you. First and foremost, from the bottom of my heart, and Mickey, the
Love
support that you and OpenTable have given Ben's friends is immense, and thank you. And I'm going to get emotional because the work is, 1 out of 10 addicts get sober. The numbers are terrible. The work will never end. And, you guys have been a big voice for us in making it okay to not be okay. That's kind of my tagline. It's okay to not be okay. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity, and actually, thank you for being there and supporting the industry. We support a lot of organizations, but Ben's Friends is really near and dear to the organization's heart. When Mickey actually came and did a session with our team, and lots of people dialed in. It was still maybe middle or end of the pandemic, so people were still remote. And he told me later that a lot of our employees actually reached out because they were struggling. Obviously I didn't know who.
Right, sure.
I think the work is so important, and we couldn't be happier to be supporting such a worthwhile cause. So thank you for letting us be a part of that story.
We're very grateful. I always say addiction doesn't care who you are, how you grew up. It doesn't care.
That's right.
But thank you for that. So OpenTable, first off, tell me a little bit. So you obviously grew up in California.
I did.
Tell us about that and kind of how you found your way to MIT and the passion for technology.
Sure. So I grew up in the Bay Area. I was born in Daly City, which is it's right south of San Francisco. My parents and family immigrated to Taiwan, from Taiwan to the States. We did not have very much money. We lived in a 2-bedroom, maybe 1,000 square foot apartment. It was me, my parents, my grandparents, my uncle, and my aunt.
Oh my God.
So we were real close. And my aunt was bussing tables at a Chinese restaurant. My parents were trying to find work. My dad was trying to learn English. And so I came up in that environment. My grandmother took care of me. We would go to Chinatown every afternoon to go grocery shopping. And so I watched my parents really work. And they ended up opening a brick and mortar travel agency that brought those big tour buses of Taiwanese people to the States.
Okay.
And my dad was gone a lot in Taiwan. My mom was in the States running that side of the company and raising me. I'm the only child. And it was lonely, I would say, growing up because you're the only child. My parents were always working. And my mom got sick a lot when I was a kid. So she had her gallbladder taken out, her appendix, she had a brain aneurysm. She had her thyroids taken out. She's in good health.
She got it all out of the way.
All of it got taken out.
Yeah, got all of the way.
Yeah, but I think I mentioned that because being the caretaker almost growing up, and also language is an issue. So when you're in a hospital with your mom and you're translating, you learn really quickly, how to navigate a system, how to be an advocate for a loved one,
sure.
how to be the adult when you're the kid. And that's been, I think, pretty key to like how I am as a person now, and like, how I got to be, I guess, where I am. And there was always this pressure. My dad didn't go to college, and there was a big focus on education. They didn't know how to get me there, but they just knew that I had to get there.
Right.
And so I navigated and found my way to Stanford. I got incredibly lucky to get in. And, I went to Stanford, and I didn't want to be a doctor. I wasn't smart enough to be an engineer. And so business was kind of like the default thing that people like me did.
Right.
So I went into investment banking out of college. And after I did 2 years of that, I mean, it was comical. Like, I wasn't a great analyst. Math is not my strong suit. And so it definitely was not for me. But I learned a lot. And then I joined Google, which kind of started the tech career. I was at Google for 2 years building out Google Maps.
Okay.
Which, is, now it's almost like it really dates me, because when I worked at Google, MapQuest
Yes.
was the product
Was
that
the
everyone
thing.
used. No one had heard of Google Maps, so this is how long this was. And then after Google, I went to business school at MIT. And when I was at MIT, I was like, wow, this is seems very irresponsible, because I'm taking on all this debt to go to school, and you go on these trips. And I was like, I got to find a job. So I stumbled upon a local startup called Kayak, and I was employee number 90 as an intern. And my job there the first job was to drive free downloads of our app.
Okay.
We were one of the first to have a mobile app.
I remember.
Which also was really dating me. And my second year at school, they made me a full-time employee. And when I graduated from business school, I stayed on. So I was at Kayak for 10 years. And we're sister companies, Kayak and OpenTable, both owned by Booking Holdings. And that's how I landed my gig at OpenTable.
And did you come in as the CEO?
I did come in as the CEO. I started about 5 years ago, August of 2020. It was in the middle of the pandemic. There was actually a lot of noise and unhappiness when I joined the company. And
I was probably some of that noise.
No, I mean, people were just horrified that I didn't have a restaurant experience. Like, I didn't.
Right.
So many people who work at OpenTable come from the hospitality industry.
Right.
We love that, right? And I didn't have any of that. I was tech. I was travel. I had a reputation for being a hard ass. Probably true. And so, yeah, there was a lot of resistance, I would say, about my presence there. And I get it. Like, I didn't know it. I had to learn it. I couldn't even go see it because restaurants were closed. I was working from my basement in New Hampshire at the time. So, but it also gave me a chance to learn about OpenTable, right? Like, even without the restaurants, because you
Right.
guys were closed.
We were all closed.
Like, what do we stand for as a company? What have we been doing? How are we helping restaurants? Like, why are restaurants still churning when things are free? Because we waived our fees, right? It really gives you space to meet on Zoom with everyone and really understand what's going on with the business. And so when things opened back up, I felt more ready to okay, these are the things, very clearly, these are the 3 or 4 things that we have to do to get back in this game.
And what were they?
The first thing was pricing. We're expensive.
Yeah.
We were expensive.
You were.
We continue to be expensive. And we had this pricing model that was no matter who you are, you pay $1 for cover.
Right.
That's been $1 since 1998, by the way.
Yep.
So there's no inflation. It's just been $1 per cover. And what I realized quickly was not all restaurants are created the same.
Right.
Restaurants are different, just like people. So there could be huge restaurants in Midtown
Right.
that need the demand because they need the tourists, they need business lunch, right? They're happy to pay for covers.
Right.
But the spot in Soho that has 10 tables just needs software that works.
Right.
Right? And they're hot and they're bursting at the seams. So why would we have one size fits all pricing when none of our restaurants are one type? So I adjusted pricing. There are some restaurants that still pay $1 per cover.
Right.
There are some restaurants who choose to pay $4 a cover because they need that demand during shoulder times. There are some restaurants that just pay the SaaS, right? The monthly software fee. So we've adjusted pricing to tailor exactly for that particular restaurant. My thing is restaurants have to know the value they're getting from OpenTable. And I think they didn't know that,
Right.
for a long time anymore.
Well, there was a long time where you guys were kind of the monopoly, or there was
No.
the
We were the only
perception.
game in town.
There was the perception of, well, we don't really have a choice.
Yeah. So pricing was the first thing. Even like when I joined in COVID, restaurants were churning even though we'd waive fees. And I was like, why would you churn if it's free? They're like, oh, well, in order to get the free, we're signing restaurants up for 2 extra years. I'm like, are you insane?
Right.
Like, remember back in,
I do.
you guys can't even see beyond next week. Like, we're going to try to sign up a 2-year term.
Right.
So like those types of things were really quickly, we changed. The second piece was product. Like, we were not innovating the product, right? And I think we thought, well, like, we defined the industry.
Right.
And so, yeah, Resi and Talk and Seven Rooms can come up with these things, but we know best because we're the pioneer. And that clearly was not true.
Right.
There were some beloved product features that our competitors had that we did not have. So we've spent the last 5 years like really going to town on product, making sure best in class, like all the features that all the other people have and more. And I would say the third piece is brand, right? Our website and app looks like it was made in 1998 because it was.
Right.
Right? And so we need a brand refresh. So how we show up in our marketing channels, like how we talk. We're not the star, as I was telling you. Like, restaurants are the star.
Right.
Restaurants are the content that's on our site. Like, let's not pretend here. Like, oh, I would hear like, well, we're a 2-sided marketplace. So we have restaurants, we have diners, and more restaurants, more diners, you get this flywheel. All of that is true. But the flywheel starts somewhere, and it starts with restaurants.
Right.
So if we don't have restaurants, we are not going to have diners. Diners aren't loyal to platforms.
No.
They're loyal to you all,
loyal
to
to the restaurants, yeah.
And so like that clarity of like, who is our customer? Our customer is restaurants. Our job is to showcase the restaurants, to make you, be in the best light possible, to help diners discover you guys. And so just pretty simple things, I would say. But it's taken a while. And then culture, I would say, is the fourth thing.
And what was the culture upon arrival, and what do you hope the culture is now, or what do you know the culture is now?
The culture upon arrival was everyone was very nice, which is not bad.
Right.
But when you have everyone just being very nice and decisions are consensus driven, there'd be like many meetings with 50 or 60 people in them, like
Management by committee, yeah.
Like it's not a democracy.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
And being nice and not giving the real feedback, but then like afterwards saying to your coworker, man, that really sucked.
Right.
Also does not serve the company.
That's right.
So we've tried to bring a degree of directness and transparency to the company that I think was lacking before. I can't help it. I mean, you can see me, you see how I talk. Like, it's just, it is what it is. Like, this is what you're going to get. Like, I don't have time for like the side just if it's bad, tell me it's bad. Because if I see it's bad, I'm going to say it's bad.
Right.
We were slow and like a little complacent and arrogant,
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I first joined, we were doing an advisory board meeting. Will Guidera's on our advisory, Kevin Bain.
Yep.
And a senior member of my team, who's no longer here, I was showing the numbers for New York. This was like 4 years ago. The numbers in New York did not look good. We lost market share.
Right.
We lost, people are not searching OpenTable New York 4 years ago. And so I was showing that trend. And one of the executives was like, we can't show that to the board. I was like, why? Oh, but that's not a good story to tell. But that's what's happening.
Right.
And so there was this resistance of owning the fact, we lost our position.
Right.
Let's be clear, because if we don't own that, we can't move on.
That's right.
From it. You know what I mean?
Amen.
You have to see it.
You
have to acknowledge it.
Yep.
You have to live in it. Let it yeah, we lost.
Right.
So how do we win?
Right.
So now the culture, I don't know. I mean, culture, as you know, takes a really long time.
It does.
It starts from the top. It also starts from the bottom. I would say the directness and the candor is largely there. But one of the best pieces of OpenTable's culture, even pre-me, was that like this love for restaurants and hospitality. And I think we very much still have that. And I think even
I
now
think you have
it's
that
more
more.
pronounced.
It's more evident now. I will
Yeah.
tell you that for sure.
Yeah. We're moving faster, although still not as fast
Right.
as I would like.
I mean,
And there's a lot of heart.
yes, and I think the way you're telling stories, the things that the list, and I don't know, it just feels like I see, even not related to the Indigo Road, I see just a lot more conversation from OpenTable about restaurants.
Yeah.
And I think that's powerful.
Yeah, because
You're the benefit. I mean, we benefit. We both benefit,
but our
right?
incentives are so aligned, right? We're
Right.
not owned by a credit card company. If restaurants do well, we do well.
Right.
Like we're rooting for you. We're trying to help. You know what I mean? Like
right.
like we have such passion for this space and for what restaurateurs do. And I think joining during COVID, it was really harrowing when restaurants were closed. And I think for me, it like made me really appreciate like, wow, like there's something really special about this industry. Like the role that restaurants play in our communities and in
Amen.
society.
Yes.
Like without it, life feels like empty and it's black and white and it's just not as good. And so how cool is it that like my job gets to be like supporting
Right.
restaurants and telling their stories and helping restaurants thrive. I mean, I think I have one of the best jobs in the world.
Me too. I love my job so much. You know, you said something that I thought was interesting about being nice. I was at our last leadership conference. I was talking about empathy and compassion, and I said empathy without compassion is enabling.
Correct.
And everybody got real quiet, and I could see. I said, you see all these posters, practice radical empathy, and I'm not displaying that. But here was the analogy that a business mentor gave me. You see a hungry person on the street, and you say, "Oh my God, that is terrible. We should not have hungry people." Well, compassion is getting the person food. If you just have empathy, you're not actually engaged in the solution. And when you come work for us and we announce we're a company that cares, that misinformation is that we're not going to have uncomfortable conversations, that we're not going to have accountability, which is the enabling, right? I mean, and Danny Meyer always says, before you say the thing, ask the question. So before you hammer the person for being late, ask them what's going on in their life so you can help understand. But post-COVID, when we were so short-staffed, like days of, are we going to open today? Do we have enough people? Oh, somebody tested positive, shut it all down, call the 200 reservations. Oh, there's rioting in the street. I mean, our leaders were so afraid to have those direct conversations. And it is so bad for a culture. It creates a toxic culture where there's no accountability.
That's right.
And so I just wanted to comment on that because being nice is great. Being productive, holding accountable, teaching people, having a goal, moving towards, that's where the real self-worth comes from the team is the feeling of accomplishment.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So when you first came over, so you were in travel, what were the sort of, other than the obvious, they're different businesses, but what were the dynamics that were different of leading a technology company in travel versus restaurants? Maybe there were none.
No, there were a ton. I mean, I thought the travel business was complex, and then I joined the restaurant business. And it's a whole
We're a hot mess.
It's a whole new level. I mean, even just the sheer number of partners, right? So OpenTable, we have over 60,000 restaurants. When I was at Kayak, I mean, we had a couple hundred, right? And maybe like a handful that I would meet with in person.
Right.
And I'm on the road. I'm meeting with restaurants all the time here. I mean, I love that. Both restaurants who are on OpenTable, but also restaurants that are not.
Good for you.
Right? To
Good
hear,
for you. Good for
like,
you.
how's it going? Like, what's working? What do you love about this other system?
Yeah.
Like, tell me your story, all those things. So just the sheer number of partners we have is really different. And we're helping, for the most part, mom and pop shops.
Right.
This is not United Airlines,
Right.
or Expedia we're
Right.
talking about. It's like, this is like a couple's livelihood, and their whole life is in this place. And
Right.
they're looking to survive. They're looking to thrive. They're looking to employ their team and take care of their team. The stakes feel a lot higher
They are.
here than it did on, when I was in travel.
Yeah.
Because like you know the faces, right? Because I've been and seen them, and if it doesn't go well, what the impact is.
Right.
And you feel the heartbreak when one of them doesn't make it or decides to shut down. So it's yes, in both cases you're using technology to enable a service. But I love restaurants because it's such a human
It is.
industry. It is messy. It is complex. It can be
And
a
that's
shit
why
show.
we're
know
the
what I
island.
mean?
We're the island of misfit toys
Yeah.
for sure.
But
And I feel like the mayor sometime in my. I'm like,
are the
I'm
mayor.
like, people are like. Somebody said the other day, nothing could shock me. I said, don't say that because you will not believe it.
yeah, but I fucking love it.
I fucking love it too.
It's so human.
It is, and there's this thing, and this is where I think like more support is such an important conversation. I talk a lot about when art and commerce intersect, right? So a chef fundamentally is creating art. Somebody has to want to buy that art on a really regular basis,
Right.
for that to be, and he has to manage his cost, inflation, tariffs, all the things in order for that to work. And I think that's part of the, I've closed restaurants. It's soul crushing.
Yeah.
I closed a 5 times James Beard nominated restaurant. Got smashed up and looted during COVID, and our chef quit, and I didn't have the heart anymore.
Yeah.
I regret the decision now. I was so distraught, but it is it's like they're everything. And unfortunately, sometimes some of the artists don't fully understand the business, the rent. Chris Shepard was on, and one of the many things that Southern Smoke is doing, but he wants to provide free legal advice because he says so many artists don't understand the business environment. So thank you for the support that you give, because we need it. We are the island. We don't. Most restaurateurs do not have MBAs, right? I mean, and it is incredibly human, and leads me to my next question. So, we talk technology is all the conversation, right? AI, all of the things, and I get asked where does AI fit with restaurants? And I don't know. More to come, but on our end, I can't speak for fast food. On our end, people are going to crave the human connection, or at least I'm banking my whole life on that no matter where technology. So how do you, as really one of the leaders in technology in our space, how do you think that what role do you see AI playing in what OpenTable does?
I think AI has a pretty significant role to play in helping restaurants become more efficient and productive with their time. So you can free up your people to do the human to human, look you in the eye, shake your hand, greet you, how can I help you today, work.
Right.
That a machine will never be able to replicate.
Right.
But can we use AI to help you respond to your online reviews if you're the type of restaurant that responds to every single review?
We try to.
Right? We have a tool that will write your response in your tone. You can check it, but it saves some of our restaurants hours of time a day. So things like that. Can you have a tool because you do not want to be manning your phone 24/7, where there's an AI voice bot that answers the call and answers the question or makes the reservation and puts all of that into OpenTable. So when the guest is here, right, reservation exists, dietary restrictions noted, etc., right? Maybe that frees up someone who can be having a more meaningful exchange with a guest who's in the restaurant. So I think, listen, the robots are not going to replace the people.
No.
Especially in this industry.
No way.
But I think it frees people to be doing less mundane, because there's certainly a lot of mundane tasks in running a
Yes.
restaurant,
Yes.
right? Less mundane, more meaningful and impactful work.
I love that. I love that. What's the thing you're most excited about right now? And it can be outside of work.
The thing I'm most excited about, I'm feeling incredibly grateful and lucky that the hard work that we've been doing at OpenTable is starting to, I guess, bear fruit.
Yeah.
I'm not trending. OpenTable is trending. And we've been working really hard for that. I mean, there have been some like grueling moments in this job. I remember, like, even last summer, I was in New York. Chef Eric Williams is also on our advisory board. I was at Penn Station. I think I was like going to Boston or something, and he just happened to call to check in, like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Man, Eric, like, I just met with the restaurant, and like they spent like 50 minutes just like ripping me a new asshole,
Right.
Because they're like thinking we're the OpenTable, right? They're mad about what happened 6 years ago when they
Sure,
were open,
sure,
right?
sure.
So, but it's my
Yeah.
job to listen to it, And then that happened, and I had to apologize, which is fine. And then I went to another meeting with the prospects. So it was a restaurant, not an OpenTable, and they just ghosted me. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm just tired.
Right.
And there's a lot of moments, not just me, like the whole team has experience, right? But we're tenacious and we don't give up. And we keep knocking on your door, and right, until the no becomes a yes. So I'm really excited that all of that work is starting to move the company in the right direction. And I'm really excited that all of that work is helping restaurants. So yeah.
It's pretty dramatic. I mean, we when some of your competitors came on the scene, we were asked to change and we didn't. We tried one restaurant. Won't get into that experience, but I can remember in those days. This is before you. We were. Hey, it's the price. Like we're not, and the technology. We were like, it's just not advancing. And I mean, it's like been 4 years, and it is. OpenTable is such a different company now. It's really profound. And I, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, as a, now a big company, I always say we're a mom and pop doing big things. I'm like, we're not a big company. We're a mom and pop doing big things. Steering the ship is different when you're bigger, right?
Yeah.
And if inefficiencies, and I'm constantly like, we got to make this easier. We can't. It's not easy to turn a company the size of yours in the ocean, heading in a different direction.
Yeah, and we have so much work left to do, right? Like the consumer app. There's a laundry list of things that we have to tackle. But it's all fun and it's all great. But I never want it to be in a spot where like, oh, well, we got there.
Right.
Like, let me sit back and relax. I had a question at a company all hands a few weeks ago, where people are tired because we've been going hard.
Right.
Like, is the pace gonna ease up? We're tired. And I said no. And I feel like I was more defensive than I should have been as, the leader of the company. I was like, no, like, yeah, I get it. I'm tired too. Like all these partnerships we're doing, like all of this requires work, but like, and I wish I had answered it this way, where we changed our company purpose recently to be, we serve restaurants. That's it. We serve restaurants. And
I like that.
Our restaurant partners are tired, like day in and day out. Like what you all do, it doesn't stop.
And it's hard. It's harder now.
Yeah.
There's in ways it's more rewarding, but labor cost, rent, all. I mean, insurance. Being in the Southeast in the hurricane pass, our liability insurance, it's nuts what we pay.
Yeah, like our customers are tired. They don't get a break. The purpose of like why we do what we do is like we're here for restaurants, right? That's our like purpose.
Right.
And the purpose for restaurants is, right, like the role you play in a community, the role you play in society. That's why I started there, right? Like we're tired, but we're we're not tired just to like make a P&L.
Right.
Here, right? We're
Amen.
tired because we think the work we do matters to our partners, because the work our partners do matters to the world.
Right.
Right? So like that's how I should have said it. I wish I'd said it that way.
You're saying it now.
But that's why I'm so like, yeah, like we don't stop. Like, you know, the Times just came out with like, oh, the credit card money and da-da-da. Like, yeah, I want to be that conduit that funnels more money from
Right.
various partners to restaurants.
Right.
Yeah, like we would
need
love
it.
that.
I
yes.
promise we need it. And you know, I love talking to you. So what I hear, and it's what I hope people get, is what you're talking about is your purpose, and
Yes.
that transcends.
Yes.
When you are a purpose-driven company, we after COVID, like I got all of our leaders back. We brought them to Charleston, and I'm sure you're familiar with Simon Sinek's Why, the Why book.
Yes.
And also The Infinite Game, which is less known but equally, I think, prolific. And I made everybody go like, why are you? Because so many people left the industry, and I made everybody go through their why. Tears, like people were just. I'm like, you're still here. Why are you here? So
Yeah.
let's get real clear on why we're still doing this.
Right.
And it created purpose for the company in a different way. And when you realize that you know, I always say, like, we're not just serving food. We're engagement dinners, old friend dinners, the dinner you're not supposed to be at, the divorce dinner that comes from the dinner you're not supposed to be at. But I mean, like, you know, we have these intimate front row seats.
Yes.
We are creating memories for people that will. I was telling Danny, I got engaged at Gramercy Tavern. Like, that restaurant is my favorite
Forever,
restaurant
yeah.
in America.
Yeah.
And he was moved, and purpose.
That's right.
And hospitality, the ripple effect of creating those experiences for people. I mean, I run into people that are like, you waited on me 25 years ago, and I'm, you know, so keep working on it's the purpose. There's been so much noise in the media, which was honestly the reason I started this podcast. I just want to send positive vibes to the business about how bad, especially coming out of COVID, all your employees left because you weren't paying them, you weren't treating them right. And I continually find that the people in hospitality are just amazing souls. Yep. So keep fighting. You know, I don't know. There's all the like criticism around the hours and the work. And I say to our team, like, I don't know how to make Saturday night at 8:00 any different. We're going to serve 200 plus people, because if we're not, we're going to go out of business. But we can make the environment different in which you do the work.
Right.
The work is the work.
Yep.
What's your favorite part of your work?
I would say it really is visiting restaurants, but it's a special moment, and I've only experienced it a few times. It's when the restaurant's closing. So the guests are gone. I happen to be lurking around because I know the owner or whatever.
Right.
And you see the chairs getting stacked, the tables getting wiped, you know, accounts are reconciled, everything's getting put back, you know. And then the moment when you all say goodbye to one another, when people leave, right? And when you always know when it's a good team and not a good team, right? Like,
Right, sure,
if it's
of
a good
course.
place to be.
Yeah.
Like, people are genuinely like hugs, kisses, thank you, chefs. Like, I don't know, the first time I saw it was actually at a restaurant in New York, Libby, Angie Mar's restaurant. And Angie has the reputation of being a hard ass
Right.
in the industry.
Right.
But, you know, and she's a hard ass with her team. But when the night ended, like, every single person, like, gave her a hug. She was like, hey, like, she knew about all their lives. She was like gifting free cosmetics because we were running an event at her restaurant, to one of her staff. It was just really beautiful, like, the connection that the team has after you've gone through a night of service, because it's hard.
Right.
I just, like, that moment is so special. And again, I didn't come from restaurants, so you could be like, yeah, dude, that's like every night. But for me, that's really special just to see, like, to see a team My husband was a rower in college, so there's a thing called swing, when everyone's rowing perfectly in sync,
Right.
and it becomes easy. And sometimes I get to witness teams at restaurants do that when they say goodbye. It's like a really intimate moment, and that by far is like the best part of my job when I get to see that.
You are the only other person I have ever heard talk about this. It's a special moment for me. Like I will sometimes sit.
We did not rehearse this. No, yeah.
I have never heard anybody talk about the end of the night. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And you're not even a restaurant bird. Look at you. Look at you, Debby Soo. That's so cool. What's your least favorite part of all of this madness?
My least favorite part, sometimes I feel discouraged because there's so many restaurants, and we're a team of 1,200 people.
Wow.
And I just wish that there was like more we could be doing. I wish we could be going faster. I wish more partnerships could be signed to help support the various causes, right, in the industry. Like that's the piece where I know exactly what we need to do. Like I know in my head, like each year, what are the things we're going to be doing? And I just wish the years were months instead of years.
Okay.
Like we could do more, but I get it. Like some things can't be rushed, and right, you can't like get to the next thing until you've really mastered this thing. But I'm impatient by nature.
Me too.
I know, I can tell.
I call it a high sense of urgency.
That's right. Oh, that's a much better.
I always
right?
say I'm not impatient. I have a high sense of urgency.
But it's just like come on.
Right.
So that part is always really frustrating. And then sometimes it's a lot to like try to do all the things. Like just as in my role at OpenTable, I'm a mother of young kids, a 3 and a 6-year-old. I'm a wife to my husband. I'm a daughter. Like it's just a lot to be juggling. And I'm not complaining. I live a blessed life. But sometimes there's a feeling of like, oh man, like really dropped the ball on that one. So that feeling of like, yeah, I can't be all places and at all times. And like picking and choosing and prioritizing, sometimes that drives me nuts too.
You know, I'm 40 years into my career, so I'm 55. The Hamilton song where why is he writing like he's running out of time? That is constantly, because I feel this like, God, I wish I were 45. I wish I had, and I'm not slowing down, but because I'm starting to get so when are you going to slow down? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, let's go. But so it sounds like we're very similar.
Yes.
And I see, like, I have this vision for the Indigo Road, and we're not there yet.
Yes.
And
That's exactly how I feel.
Why is he writing like he's running out of time?
Yep.
I feel like I'm running out of time.
Me too.
What's been the biggest surprise for you? Good or bad?
The biggest surprise for me, 2 surprises. One, I didn't expect to love the industry as much as I do.
We're an infectious little bunch.
It is. And I've been ambitious my whole life. And it's always been like this milestone and then this milestone. And then at the age of like 31, I got divorced. And like all that shit just went out. Like all the milestones, I'm like, like what am I going to do?
Right.
This job has, so I'd always known like I want to be a CEO one day.
Oh, that's
I want to
cool.
I want to be, and I remember in college saying, I want to be a CEO. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know what kind of company, but that's what I want to do. And so when I got the OpenTable role, it was like a check mark. Oh, yep, got it.
Yeah.
I became CEO at the age of 39. Like, cool. But I didn't expect.
Which makes you a badass, by the way.
Or makes me incredibly lucky. But I didn't expect the work to be as meaningful to me as it has been. Because, like, usually in my life, like, I get one thing, I'm like, all right, what's the next? Like this, I gotta go do, that's the next thing.
Right.
The next thing is this. And I don't have a next thing in terms of, what role do I want after OpenTable? Do I do it bigger? Do I? And I wonder, like, why? And I think it's because I feel really fulfilled in my professional life. Like, my work feels like there's meaning to me personally.
Right.
So I'm not itching for, like, the next thing. Like, I'm very happy. And and content, but still like pushing and going.
Right.
And that's really surprised me. And the other thing is like, yeah, motherhood in general is just holy shit.
I know.
And just having kids is the experience is, I mean, I don't know if anyone knows what it is until it happens.
Right.
But that's just, the whole thing is just surprising.
I watch my wife. There's no way that a child can have the appreciation for what a mother goes through until they themselves someday. So it's this like 20 years from now, you're going to call your mother and, you know, and I watch my wife show up for my daughter with no thanks, with argument, and I love my daughter. This is the journey. I am in awe of her resilience, her grace, just the way that she gives of herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom is different than dad. My husband hates it when I
Totally.
say this.
No, I agree.
But it's just like like they were in my belly. They were literally a part of my body.
Right.
And it feels like I have an appendage out there in the world.
Right.
But it's been so amazing. Like they teach me patience, which, you know, the way we're wired.
Yeah.
They force me to slow down. My 6-year-old has some anxiety. So he has selective mutism, which is a social anxiety. He can speak, but when he's nervous or anxious, he cannot speak. So when he was in preschool for 2 years, he did not speak to a single adult. He spoke to kids. And so like it was a lot of therapy. We did talking camps. Like we did all sorts of, he's 6 now in kindergarten. He's fully verbal. But like for me, like, you know, I'm a control freak, right? I want to know exactly, I want to control the weather if I can. And the thing about being a mom and having kids is like, you can't control them. I can't force him to talk.
Right.
I can only provide the tools and build the scaffolding. So when he's ready and the stars align, he can do it. And like that lesson in my personal motherhood life was so profound to me. Like, oh my God, like that's OpenTable too. I can't force a restaurant to choose me.
Right.
I can't. You know, I can throw everything, I can go every day, but I can't force them.
Right.
But what I can do is make sure we do the work, we're tenacious, we build the scaffolding, so when one day the stars align and they're ready, we're ready for them. And so like there's so many lessons in my own like motherhood journey that I like see that are so applicable to my work life. So I feel incredibly lucky to be able to do the things that I get to do.
I love that. So your comms people want me to talk about some of your accomplishments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so you reimagined
God.
OpenTable's approach to innovation, debuted 60-plus features last year, including restaurant partners specifically asked for, became an early adopter of AI, continued to invest heavily in AI-powered tools.
Really? You're having him read this?
No, we're going to ink major deals with Visa and Uber. You already mentioned that. Advocated for industry issues that affect bots, reservation policies, no-shows. Please don't no-show. Please.
Yeah.
Don't no-show.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it. We will kick you off the platform. Please don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Champion the anti-piracy bill in New York, and there are now similar bills in Florida, Illinois, in Nevada, supporting along with restaurant associations and the National Restaurant. I don't read very well. I speak well. I don't read well. Cultivated a new executive team and expanded our advisory board, won back amazing new restaurants from Michelin-starred groups to neighborhood gyms. Debbie's leadership style is best defined as being transparent and direct. You already said that. You're aligned with your PR people. That is awesome.
That's good to know.
You established challenging the status quo ethos across the org and champions of showing up authentically. What's so cool is that you already said all that.
That's great. Yeah, you did not.
I know, but
thank you.
They said.
But thank you
and
for doing that.
You came, and so I try
you.
to behave sometimes. What does the word hospitality mean to you?
It means helping people feel like they belong.
I love that.
Yeah.
Seen, valued, and heard.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about that.
That's right.
When you make somebody, and this is employees too.
Yes.
When you make someone feel seen, valued, and heard, it'll change their life.
That's right. That's why I think I love this industry so much.
Me too.
Yeah, like I grew up, I didn't always feel like I belonged. In fact,
Me neither.
right? There's like a lot of rooms I don't belong in.
Yeah.
But the whole industry, I think, hospitality is like, if you do it right, it's like you help people feel like they belong.
Right.
That's awesome.
I talk a lot about my own journey because I was homeless at 13 and addicted and, all the things. The great thing about a restaurant is if you're willing to work hard and be a part of a team, doesn't matter how you grew up, the color of your skin, you're welcome. There's a place for you in a restaurant. And we also have another saying, everyone is welcome at our table, even the people we disagree with, right? Because imagine if restaurants stood at their front door and said, I'm only letting you in if you believe what I believe, we'd all be out of business. And all of that is that inclusiveness that you're talking about.
Right.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Everybody. And I think that's the best thing. What's your hope for the hospitality industry, right? Knowing where especially the post-COVID era, all the challenges, restaurants in LA are closing left and right. I feel like actually more restaurants are closing right now than COVID. I don't have stats to back that up.
No, it feels like every day you're hearing news.
Closing.
Yeah, I agree.
As you look to the next 5 years, what is your hope for hospitality?
Well, the first hope is I hope that people, society, communities continue to or increase their appreciation for what the industry does. Right?
Amen.
Like you're hearing, backlash on tipping, right? Because like let's just not, people should really remember and like appreciate and value the role that restaurants play in our daily lives. That's one thing.
I kind of feel like, and I want to say this carefully, the uneducated people should stop commenting on, because we are such a fragile business model.
Yeah.
Yes. DC passed a law about tip credits and stuff around this conversation. And now the rate of restaurant closures are at an all-time high. And everybody's shocked. And I'm like, you voted for something that's crippling us. And so thank you for saying that, because there are a lot of things that need to be fixed. Give us a chance to fix them,
And I would say for the industry to continue, but also increase, like giving each other and ourselves grace,
It's my favorite word, grace.
I mean, sometimes we fuck up. That's okay.
It is.
You get up the next morning, you try again. I feel like the industry can be really unforgiving to its own.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
We're pretty,
Right? Like
we
it can be really
vicious,
brutal.
And it's not necessary.
Yeah.
So our culture talk is called Coffee and Culture. And I go around the company and I always say, we fuck up. We are not perfect. 2,100 employees have my cell phone. It's on every phone list, and I'm like, when we fuck up, call me. Don't quit. Don't, call me and let's talk about it. My HR director thinks I'm nuts. She's like, you make yourself I got a text at 6 a.m. the other day. Somebody was unhappy, and I'm like, let me have a cup of coffee. This podcast is called Say Grace. You led me perfectly. One of the definitions of grace is a gift freely given without expectation of return. But in the South growing up, Sunday supper was kind of a ritualistic, and we would all hold hands at the table and we would say grace. And most often, like grandma would pick you to, and really what saying grace is what you're thankful for. So what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for my health. Knock on wood. I'm thankful to my husband and my boys, or I just call them my boys.
Yeah.
They really provide me with such a beautiful life. And I'm thankful to be in a job, in a role where I feel like I can make an impact. I'm thankful for restaurants. I really am. I have deep love for restaurants. Yeah, I feel completely blessed. I almost like feel scared to say it because when like things,
Right.
you feel like the other shoe is something's gonna go wrong or the
That's
other shoe.
imposter syndrome.
I
mean,
know,
it's
I know.
totally.
No, I feel you when you say it.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Like this can't really be real.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
All the time.
Like certainly this couldn't be my life.
All the time.
But yeah, there's so much to be thankful for. I'm thankful to be sitting here with you, like having a real conversation. I love that. Thank you.
That's why I did this.
Yeah.
Somebody said, are you trying to get sponsors? I'm like, no. I've told my team, like, I don't want to know about stats. I just want to have conversations with people. We have a gift that we're going to give you.
Oh, what?
It might be a little cumbersome because it's heavy as shit.
It is.
So
oh my goodness.
So Smithy is a Charleston-based company that does cast irons.
Yeah.
This is for you. Your name is engraved
Oh
on
my
it.
goodness.
So it's a little heavy.
Can I move this so I can like
yeah.
open it?
Yeah.
I know there's rules.
There are rules.
Wow.
Yeah, there are rules.
This is so nice. My husband is gonna love
Is it? Oh, cool. Good. Because I want y'all to,
Oh wow.
And then on the back, you'll see.
Oh my God. It is very heavy.
Yeah.
It's very heavy.
It is.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, thank you for saying yes. I know you're busy,
No,
and
never too busy.
yeah. Well, thank you, Debbie. And thanks everybody for joining us on Say Grace. If you liked what you heard, tell a friend, share it on socials. We're on all the platforms. Thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Say Grace, Food for Thought and Hospitality. We hope you join us next time as we continue to dive deeper into the inspirational stories about the transformative power of hospitality.